Good evening, YouTube. This will be an unboxing of The Last 100 Yards by GMT Games. Let's take a look at the box. Let's see if we can zoom in here. The complexity is supposedly a 6, but people claim it's not that bad once you get the hang of it. So I'll try to get the hang of it. And this is my first unboxing and my first spoken YouTube video, so forgive me, forgive my accent, and I'll try not to worry about it. So here we go. I'm cutting the plastic like a surgeon because I like to keep the plastic on the box even after I open it. That way it still looks unopened even though it's opened, and it looks nicer on the shelf that way. Maybe I'm a little crazy, but that's what makes these videos fun, right? Also, I was thinking that a lot of the unboxing videos are done by people with British accents, so I think me, by not having a British accent, is going to make it much more interesting for you. So here we go. Opening. What do we have? We have a bunch of Ziplocs that I don't really need because I use wonderful containers from Walmart, which I think are perfect. In fact, I'll demonstrate right now. I find that Walmart has the best prices and the best containers. This bead storage box is really excellent, and it's thin, it fits in the box, there's a lot of spaces, and it's really cheap, only $4 for so much storage space. It's wonderful. And then they have some other ones, but these are thicker. I don't know if I'll use them. Anyway, the game comes with 4 10-sided dice. They look pretty decent, colorful. And then I see some counters already popped out here because they are very well cut. That's good. So I'll just move them here. The rules of play, I already read these from I downloaded them from the GMT website, which is very nice that they have up-to-date versions of these rules that are supposed to be with corrections. Unfortunately, I understand that the version, in fact I know because I checked against the errata, there is an errata for this game, but the rule book that's available on their website doesn't have those changes in it, so it's probably the same as the one that comes in the box. Hopefully they'll update the rulebook on the website, and then I'll download and print it again. But what is also interesting is the playbook, which in some form is also available on the website, but I think this one has much more. It seems like it has a lot more more detailed pictures. It has more pictures, I think, than the one on their website, and is more has more detail, it looks like. I'll verify that. But it looks very nice. Very high resolution pictures, much better than in the downloaded document. Unfortunately, for some reason the PDFs that they let you download are not very high quality and they pixelate very easily. They don't look as good as this. This is very nice detail, very sharp. It's a very high quality booklet. It also comes with some nice designer's notes, which I also like to read from the designer. And by the way, if you're interested in this game, there are some nice YouTube videos, including an interview with the designer from the convention that just happened, and that interview was, I think, what convinced me to get this game, because he explained the mechanics of the game so nicely. A lot of people tried to explain it, but the way he explained it, it seemed so logical and so natural that I decided to try and learn this system. And also what I like about this game is that it's different than all the other games, all the other tactical games. Counters are very nice. And I like to try different things and different mechanics, so that's why I got it. You can see the detail is wonderful on these counters. And the other side also accurately printed and very nice, very detailed. So that's the first sheet. Then the second sheet. It has some armor, some infantry, some light anti-tank units, machine gun units. And what I like about this compared to Squad Leader is that in this case the units that have machine guns are actually small units of 2 to 5 men that carry the machine gun. So I think this is actually realistic versus just having a machine gun flying around that anybody can use. So this makes sense. Very nicely printed. 2019. Brand new game. Then there's a lot of these counters, and these are die roll modifier counters for different types of attacks. So I believe these are the mortar attacks, the anti-tank attacks, and the anti-soft target attacks. And I'll probably make another video about how the mechanics work, but right now this is just about the pieces in the box. Another sheet. This is where those counters fell out from. Very well printed, and the die cutting is amazing. It's clean. There's no burnt residue or anything like that. It looks like it was really cut, but very nicely. So I think the only other such high quality game is Old School Tactical. Their counters are also excellent. And then what else? We have mission cards, the missions are what they call scenarios. So we have mission 1, 2, 3, 4. These all use one game board each. Then we have more missions. 5, 6, 7, 8. These using 1.5 and 2 boards each. 9, 10, 11. This one uses 4 boards. That's a nice big layout. This one uses 2 and this one uses 1. And mission number 12. This is a nice long 3-board scenario mission. And then there's this form for making your own missions. I just browsed through the instructions, so I don't really know how this works, but I know you can make your own scenarios and you use this chart. And they're very nice player aids, so this is just one double-sized sheet of paper that I'm gonna probably photocopy and laminate for frequent use. And as you can see, it has a lot of instructions have been extracted out of the book and printed here, which is kind of scary because if you need, but I think overall it's a good idea to print all the useful things nicely organized on a chart. You don't have to use it if you remember it, but it makes it easier. And there's a second one that's identical, so 2 players, each one gets their own. Another counter that fell out. And then there are the combat tables. So we have anti-tank fire, die roll modifiers, small arms fire, mortar, small arms, minefields, terrain effects. This is interesting, kind of like in Panzer, where there's a chart to figure out how many blind hexes depending on the difference of heights of the objects on the map. So that's interesting. That's kind of an advanced feature for a game like this. And then stacking limits, maneuvers, shock recovery rules. This is interesting for conducting assaults, which are basically like close combat, moving into the same hex. There's a whole table of possible outcomes, and depending on what you roll, you follow the instructions in that subset. So this makes it more like sort of like a movie where you don't really know how it's going to come out because of the various things that might happen as a result of close combat. Okay, and then there's another one that's exactly the same for the second player. Then there's this the casual track and time track. What's interesting about this game is that it's different than most other games that I've played, where actions take a certain amount of time that's not known up front. You roll a die after you've done your turn and you find out how much the turn took. And then the longer you take, it becomes sort of a penalty for you. And then also, depending on who takes more losses, you may either gain or lose points that are combined with the time. And you want to try and achieve your mission within a certain point limit. And the points are the combination of time and loss points, and possibly other special rules from the scenarios, from the missions. I don't know, I didn't read those yet. Unfortunately, I don't think they were available online. There's a nice sequence of play. And they say that it's most important to understand the sequence of play, to step through very carefully. Once you learn the basic sequence of play, everything else is easy. And it seems from all the videos I've watched that it's really an interesting way of resolving this combat that makes it kind of more sort of simultaneous, but not without so much bookkeeping. These boards are, I would say, a bit flimsy, but that's okay because you can just put plexi on top, but they're very pretty. Let's see if you can see that. So, as I understand it, the actual contour lines that matter for line of sight purposes are only the ones with the big numbers 1 and 2, and the smaller ones only serve as an obstruction on the same level. So the intermediate contour lines don't define the level of the hill, they just serve to obstruct in some cases. And then each board has its own little table for the dispersal of mortar shots. Let's see some other boards. They're all very European, very Western Front. This game is only the Western Front. But I guess they could work if they print more counters. I think they would be fine for Eastern Front as well. They're very nicely done. And the counters, the hexes are big, and the counters are pretty big too. So for us old people, this is perfect. Let me try and see how a counter fits on this map. These are the special fire action counters, but I think the size is the same. Yeah, all the counters are the same size. It doesn't matter. No, wait, sorry, I take that back actually. These counters are bigger. So the administrative counters are a bit smaller than the, sorry, over here, than the combat unit counters. So let's pick out one combat unit and see how it fits. Came out very easily. How it fits on the board. Plenty of space. I mean, if you want, you could really possibly put 2 in and still fit barely. Let's see how that would work. Nah, not so well. I guess you need to stack. But still, it's good. It gives some room around the counter. Okay. So, let's continue looking at the boards. There's one with a nice one little hill. This could be fun. Ooh, this is nice. I like the river. That could be interesting. And there's one with a road running through a forest and some hills. And another one sort of a lot like the other ones. So they're nice boards. They're geomorphic, so you can combine them any way you want. Actually, this one doesn't have a road, but that's okay. This one does, so they fit together perfectly. Okay. all this back together. And I'm afraid this just turned into another unboxing video, and I was hoping to be more entertaining than that. But what are you gonna do? It's my first try. Next time I'll be more funny. And yeah, I don't want to... You don't have to see me cleaning up. That's not fun. So I'll conclude that now, and you can please provide your feedback. Tell your friends to watch my channel. Look at the other videos I have from various reenactment events that I went to, and Long Island warbirds flying at the Warbirds Museum in Bethpage. And I guess that's it. Thank you.